Still slightly to the bearish side on the
okay,
NASDAQ.
it's I'm back. Hey, I wanted to just show something here.
Which
So
saying
the
it's been
fact
a little
that
more
it never
effective
reached
pushing price
the market
down
engine indicator never
and
reached up here.
So the overall
to the
composite,
top,
if you combine
right, this
the three
continues
of
to
those,
set the
is
tone
that
for the day,
still
being
to the
bearish.
downside.
You know, if you look at
Well, we've had
mostly
a
from the
push up
open,
here.
it's worked its way up, right? I mean, it
See if
dropped
that
off,
continues.
but the sentiment's been down, and that it's been hard pushes to the downside. So when that happens, a technique here is to then you draw a line here, a trend line on the market engine indicator, and as you have bearish market effectiveness charts, so you need that. So just the fact that we're tracing, you know, for it to break down. So now I'm flat again, so I went short. So I just wanted to point out to you that when you've got that negative bearish view, meaning it takes at least two things. One, the market effectiveness chart needs to be bearish, and number two, it didn't reach up and get to the top, and so the tone of the day has been to the bearish side. So then you start drawing these trend lines here that come across like this, and as it breaks down past that and the market effectiveness chart is bearish, you have high probability opportunity to follow that down. So I did that, took another trade, my 9th trade here this morning. Those are all high probability trades. It's now hit the bottom, you can see that, and started to push up. But I would never buy it at this point. Now, if it had already gone up and touched the orange across the top, then I would be looking for an opportunity for, you know, for buying opportunities here at the bottom. But since that's not the case,
not much movement.
Buying at this point
Activity level
is very low probability. I mean, you may be successful, but it's not high probability. So, you know, I would avoid that. Always avoid buying
let's look
on the
at
bottom
the
side or selling
here
on the top side.
So
if
gold,
both sides haven't been touched
gold
by market
was the big push up
indicator.
overnight.
That's the trick right
receded.
there. Okay. Hopefully this little snippet was
30%.
helpful. So this was again all about
and
seeing that it failed.
Those are still sitting
up here at the top.
All right, so we got
stayed
the Russell
here on the bear side as it broke these two trend lines, and as the market effectiveness
pushing
chart
up again,
turned bearish there on the left, and I had a gear shift right at that point. Had
NASDAQ
three things telling me
slowly rising
could
as
go
well
back
as
the other direction. I took that
like
opportunity, high probability opportunity. Okay, that's it for now. Thanks for joining.
Doing the same. You want to rise a little bit more. Okay. We got the 200 here. I'm on a 1 minute chart here. Got the 200 moving average here. It's starting to look that direction. Well, and the market turns quickly down in terms of price. Yeah, so now I'm flat. Okay, so I've had 7 trades. All of them successful. At this point, had to wait a little bit on the 7th one. Yeah, so what happened right there, right at the moment, the market will do this to you, right at the moment you think it's going to go up, it turns around, and the effectiveness chart on NASDAQ pushed up. Let me bring it over here so you can see it. Here's what happened. This is the NASDAQ market effectiveness chart. So it's saying the NASDAQ's being effective, push price down, down, down. Then it's hovering, comes up, and then right at that moment just shot up and then just dropped. And that gave enough push and momentum to make me flat, brought down. So okay, so up this morning. So the strategy is pretty simple when you trade with this. Keep an eye on 2 or 3 of the engines. I call them engines because it's not just I'm watching the price on those indexes, but rather I'm watching the net effect of all of the activity that's taking place underneath the hood on those, combined together into a chart that represents the effect of that effort, meaning is it being effective at pushing against price, moving in one direction or the other. That then, combined with
just common sense market structure and sort of understanding where you are in the profile, as well as some key things around some channels and the structure there. You just need to know those 2 or 3 things. Keep an eye on that, and that will, give you the confidence. Now there will be these points where it goes against you. So I had one go against me, but I waited it out the right time, leveraged in, and still closed for profit. So you gotta be careful with that. We've got, looks like it still wants to, we've got the NASDAQ effectiveness chart pushing up. So it's same with the Russell and the NYSE as well. Now you see the red line here. When the red line comes up like that, and you see this is pushing up, it's saying that price is pushing up and the effectiveness chart's going up. Those two are in line. So we got the same over on the NASDAQ. So we could be seeing another push to the upside here. Might go test the bottom of the range from yesterday. So the bottom of the range from yesterday, so let me just pull that down here. So the bottom of the range from yesterday, this is on the E-minis. So yesterday the bottom of the range was at 55.25. That was the bottom of the range yesterday. So this is a 15-minute chart. Bottom of the range. Here we are, it's tested the top, the bottom today. But you'll notice we're down here developing in this part where there's some extra space, right? Some work needs to be done to flesh out this part of the market. So it could come up here and test this top part right there. So understand a little bit about structure, market structure, and what you're doing. And then the other chart that I keep an eye on is I like to take time out of the picture. Just take time totally out of the picture. So this could look a little messy. This is a range chart. It's a 4-tick range chart on the E-mini. And with it, so here's yesterday. Look at that. It just bounced around in that range yesterday. And right at the end of the day, pushed up. And then overnight, we get the big sell-off. Here's market open about right here. We traded that down, came up. We traded this, recovered. So there's a top of a channel here. So we got a couple things. We have a channel right here at about 24.55. which interestingly is the bottom of that range from yesterday. So a little bit of resistance area. Don't like to use that word much, but it is a resistance area right up there. So to be aware, this is some open space right here. It could push up into here, and then might go choppy again on us. All right, so that's it. I keep an eye on those charts, on the overall profile structure, just where we are there. Keep an eye on these effectiveness charts on each of the engines, each engine being effective. And boy, when they're lined up, things really then tend to move a certain direction. So you want to know where they are and how they're lining up. And then you keep an eye on just some of the key correlated markets. Got to know those, right? So keep an eye on things like gold and crude and bonds and things like that. So you set yourself up with that kind of environment, then you can see where the probabilities are. And then the last but very critical piece is this green line right here. This is the market engine indicator, and this is coming up. This is showing the really near-term, short-term pressure that's taking place. So you can see there's been obviously a lot of pressure to push up price. So even though it came in short, it pushed, eventually got price up, still to the downside, to the bearish side. Yeah, you get your eyes set to be able to watch those probably three different pieces. Okay, so structure, which is things like market profile and the channels with the range chart, that tells me structure. And then you've got which way the market's being successful or effective at moving price. So you got that. That's the second key thing to watch. And then watch correlated markets. Just know, oh, bonds is shooting up. Doesn't mean that things will go down, but it increases the probability. So correlated markets, structure, and then the effectiveness of each of those market engines. Yeah, then you trade with the market engine indicator on something like this. Now that's for intra-day trading. For intraday trading, for swing trading, similar, but you change the time frames and the size of the ranges and those kinds of things. The principles still apply, obviously, to larger time frames. Okay, so 7 trades this morning. Have closed all of them with profit, and we've got the Russell engine pulling off. Obviously the NYSE, you can see that one is pulling off. The NASDAQ is somewhat bullish at the moment. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks for joining. Trade safe, and I look forward to next time. Today, thanks for joining. Trade safe, and I look forward to next time. The E-minis. What we're going to be trading here this morning. Those have bounced back and forth throughout the evening. They are about mid-range in the overall market move through the night. Let's see, it's Monday. Could have a little bit of chop here. Friday was incredibly bullish day throughout the day. In fact, if you look here on the left on my screen, so this is the market effectiveness chart. You can see on Friday what the overall effort was to move price up. Now, this is not a price chart, but what it does is it shows a combination of a collection of elements that comprise the market engine.
Champ, are you here to talk to me? Are you? Are you going to go out? Should we do it? Let's go out. Come on. Come on, let's go do the out. You've been on the end. Let's go do the out.
Okay, so that was a excellent sell-off. I sold that, and it made my point earlier about right here when you saw it right here in the bottom, when you saw that it was hitting the bottom of the indicator. I told you, hey, don't buy that. Don't buy that because it's not hit both sides. It's a lower probability, and it did pull up for just a moment, but then it dropped dramatically. So, okay, so we got a situation here where it's working its way back up. Okay, I was fighting a Windows issue there. It was expanding my windows automatically. That didn't help. All right, had to make a configuration change. All right, so we've got the market engine indicator pushing up hard here, which is awesome. I'd love for it to come touch the top so that I can also trade both sides with more confidence. Obviously not going to try to buy anything here at this point. Here we're over halfway through. We keep pushing our way through, coming up here to the top. Nice, good, strong push. Excellent push up. Okay. All right. We're back to the open, if you can believe it. What was that? 1, 2, 3, 4 times back to the open. 4 times today already. Holy smokes. Okay. Getting set up here. I want to see it come all the way up here to the top. Some may have bought that. I didn't buy it though. I didn't want to buy something like that. Okay, we're back to the bottom of a channel there, so that's why we got a little bit of a kickback right there on that as it touched the bottom of the channel. I think this could end up pushing its way all the way back up into this 55 range. Going to go back up and touch the other side. How's that for volatility? Huh? That's stuff you can trade and get it moving like that. That's excellent. All right, the market effectiveness chart on the NYSE is pushing up. NASDAQ super strong, bullish, push up. Same with Russell. There's the NYSE. Take a peek at that. That's pushing up hard. A little bit of hesitation, but nevertheless, good strong push up. I didn't buy into it though. I don't like buying off the bottom when I've not had confirmation that it's two-sided. An impulsive move to the upside. Let's see how far it's back to the point of control. So point of control right now seems to be sitting around, what is that? I hover over right here, 52.5, 2452.5. That's current point of control. So it's sitting comfortably right here back at the point of control, which interestingly is right near the open, which is probably why we keep coming back to it. And it's a point of control. All right. We finished a gear shift here. The gear shift tells us, hey, be ready for a change. That change has confirmed that it was to the upside. It's now looks like it's trying to form another gear shift here, though. Let's see what happens with that. We may have hit the top. I was hoping it was going to do this 45 minutes ago, right? I was hoping it was going to come up and touch the other side. Okay, we've got both the Russell as well as the NASDAQ engines have settled off and are pulling back. NYSE engine effectiveness chart still being bullish. Doesn't want to give us the nice, easy, high probability move to the upside. Kind of hope it does. Keep working its way back up there. Come into the high probability areas. Comes up, touches the 200. Getting up near the top, this is good news. Near the top, when it gets on the other side of the 200 all by itself, it's a nice opportunity right there. Quickly pulls back a little bit. Let's see if it continues its ride up. Okay, we've got NASDAQ effectiveness chart coming back down. A little bit on the NYSE as well. The Russell's also pulling back a little. Didn't quite get to the top of the market engine indicator there. Still got Russell and NASDAQ effectiveness charts getting bearish. NYSE also, which you can see, getting more bearish. Pull those over. Here's the NASDAQ. Got a gear shift going on here in the NYSE. Here's the Russell. Both of those came up and have pulled off, getting more negative, going more bearish. We had the gear shift, which came and confirmed the big push up. Now it's trying to determine if it's going to line up with going down or up. But right now we got pressures pushing to the downside. So again, three things you want to watch. You want to watch structure, things like channels and profile. Those are good structures to keep in mind, keep in place. You want to keep an eye on that. You want to keep an eye on the three engines and see how it's responding there. And then you want to know about the market effectiveness, or excuse me, the market engine indicator. You want to keep. Okay, we got a nice big push coming up here. Got some strength to take it to the upside, and the effectiveness charts on all three are bullish. Quite to an extreme here at this point. Okay. So a lot of this is about timing too, isn't it? In other words, if it were to come too far up on the other side of that 200 moving average there on my chart and leave all the moving averages behind over there, that makes a higher probability. As more time passes and as things start to settle into this part of the market structure, then the probabilities for that begin to erode. That was a good strong push up, wasn't it? Pushed up pretty good. Let's see, effectiveness charts on all three are bearish again. No strong decision here though. Market engine indicator dropping off. That's the highest it's been today. So that took a pretty big push for it to get up that high. Now, here's an interesting thing to note. You see right here where the market engine indicator was right here. You see it got to this 125 level. Probably can't see that. But you come up here, follow my mouse, then you see how high it was on price. Then as you come over to here and you see, well, the market engine indicator, the market was pushing even a lot harder to get price up, but it didn't get as high. That's an important tell, so keep an eye on that. In other words, it took a lot more effort to move price up, but it didn't get as far. Let's see, the effectiveness charts, we've got the NASDAQ as well as the Russell are both bearish. You can see the NYSE is hovering a little bit bullish, not much, definitely bearish in tenor. It's below the green line. See if that pulls back for us. Green line here on the market engine indicator continuing to erode. Effectiveness chart on all three are now showing bearish, I can say it, bearish signs. All three are bearish. There goes the engine indicator really pushing down. Let's see if price is to follow. Hood, it's pushing down. Price is going to follow. Let's see. We've got three effectiveness charts moving down. Price is holding steady. Even the engine indicators moving down, which means there's a lot more selling than buying on the stocks on that particular index. Price is holding, even with that push down. Sitting right at point of control at the moment. 52.5. See if we come back to the open again for the, was it 5th or 6th time? How many times has that been? 1, 2, 3, 4 times it's touched there. Okay, well, there we have it. It is. Now we've got misalignment between the 3 effectiveness charts. So we got NASDAQ pushing up, Russell pushing up, and NYSE pushing down. Typically that moves us into a sort of a choppy area when that happens, when they're not aligned. Get all 3 aligned, then it well, that was quite the strafe, wasn't it? Down and then hard push back up. That was quite the... good hard rejection to the bottom side as it was testing price down there. Where did it get to? 48. So NYSE and NASDAQ charts are still bearish on the effectiveness charts. Russell just turned bearish. It was a little bullish there for a moment. Okay, so this is a interesting thing to note and to watch. So the NYSE effectiveness chart continues to push down. Same with NASDAQ and now even Russell. Price holds still. Now, typically when that happens, you can be prepared for, sort of really big push one way or the other. There's no guarantee. Obviously, the probabilities go to the downside since the effectiveness charts are pushing down that way. But you'll notice that we just had a gear shift here. So the gear shift says, okay, be prepared for a change. The change could be that price is going to follow through and go with the effectiveness chart, or it could be that, all right, it's failing at moving price lower, and so it'll pop the other direction. All right, so the market engine indicator is dropping to a low. It's coming down towards the bottom. I'm now flat, so I was short through that. I had 3 or 4 things confirming that the probabilities were to the short side, but that was a tough short to get. It was not a lot of movement to get that short, so that's 9 trades for me here this morning. Okay, this is Grant. Thanks for joining, and look forward to chatting with you again next time.